Hello, this is AstrologerCoach Sonja Francis, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming powerful new moon solar eclipse in 27 degrees of Aquarius, which will be exact on February 15th at 4:05 p.m. East Coast time in the US, which is also New York time, or 9:05 p.m. London time GMT. So this is the beginning of both a new moon cycle and a new eclipse cycle. So we will talk about the best and most potent time to set new moon intentions for this eclipse cycle towards the end of this video. But please note that eclipse intentions are different from regular new moon intentions. So stay tuned until the end, okay? Now, eclipses take place approximately every 6 months, like I've already mentioned in my last video. Solar eclipses are extra powerful new moons that end one 19-year cycle and begin another one. So the last solar eclipse in this same degree of Aquarius with a south node connected to it was back on February 16th, 1999. So we're likely to experience a resonance between now and that time. And we want to really make sure that we distinguish, between resonance and identical, right? Nothing's going to be identical from what happened in 1999, but there will be an energetic resonance to what happened back then. So think back to spring of 1999. Were there any major endings and beginnings in your life? What was important back then to you? Were there any visions that you had for yourself in regards to life, humanity, things to do with the Aquarian energy. And if there were a call this time to take those priorities to the next level, where would that next level find you, right? So that's kind of what we're kind of trying to get to with this eclipse, is answering those questions for ourselves. Now, if you're looking for more guidance on those questions, I would suggest take a look at your natal chart, because the house placement of the eclipse will indicate which area of your life is most ready to go to that next level of consciousness, or to that next level in your evolution. And if that appeals to you, I suggest that you check out my 30-minute class on how to read your birth chart. You might also want to purchase my most recent forecasting forum, when we looked directly at our own birth charts in relationship to the eclipses and where they are taking place and how that's affecting each one of us. So for the next 2 weeks until February 25th, I'm offering actually a 35% discount on this particular webinar, and that will be available on my website. If you click on services and then look for webinars, and then if you click on webinars, and then you can see the eclipse webinar and get that for a really big discount. If you want to get a free copy of that particular webinar about the eclipses, plus a subscription to our next monthly forecasting forum, you can also get that by signing up for my star or superstar membership before the end of the month. This is something new that I'm doing, so I wanted to just give that as a little gift to you for jumping in. So you can go to my website and click on membership and then take advantage of that deal by choosing the super star or the star membership for the next month. So if this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, I will talk more about the forecasting forums, what they are and what they're all about, and how they benefit you at the end of this video. So stay tuned. I also have some more updates about my new online community that I launched last week. So stay tuned for that as well. All right. Now, first, let's talk about this powerful eclipse that's coming up. Although we have experienced several eclipses in the Leo Aquarius polarity since last year already, since the beginning of last year, this will be the first solar eclipse in Aquarius. And so this points to a new beginning of some sort with the visionary energy that Aquarius represents. And especially wherever it is in your chart, that particular house placement in your chart will indicate where that new beginning takes place. Now, solar eclipses reveal pathways that can take us to the next level of our evolution. So this really heralds sort of like a consciousness shift within us, within each of us, and also within the collective. And so the shift connected with this particular eclipse will unfold over the next 6 months. That's how eclipses work. They're so powerful that the unfolding happens between the eclipse and the next eclipse that takes place. Now, please keep in mind that those of us who have natal planets within 5 degrees of the eclipse will experience more traumatic changes than others. Each of us will feel it on some level and certainly in a particular area of our lives. But if you do have planets or points within 5 degrees of the eclipse, then for sure you will feel it very strongly. Now, the sun and the moon are connected to one of the moon nodes during an eclipse, as I've already mentioned in my last video. And in this case, the south node is connected to this solar eclipse. So this is a south node eclipse. And as such, it helps us to release energies or attachments that are no longer serving our soul's evolution, and in particular in connection with the Aquarian energy. Now again, feel free to check out my webinar about the eclipses to see where this new beginning and the next level of your soul's evolution is taking place for you. Now, eclipses are Uranian in nature, and therefore there's usually times of uncertainty. We pretty much are sort of like in a consciousness download, and there's a lot of energy moving around within us and around us. So pretty much a lot can happen between now and the end of eclipse season, which is February 25th. So stay open as best as you can, stay grounded and flexible as much as possible, and don't jump the gun, especially before the solar eclipse becomes exact. If you feel compelled to do something, do your best to simply observe the urge. The exception might be something that happens organically at this time that just sort of like happens, like all of a sudden, like a surprise, right? That is in alignment with the eclipses. But if you're ambivalent about a possible action, better hold off at least until the end of eclipse season, February 25th, right? Now, eclipses bring major endings and beginnings. As best as you can, trust that whatever is leaving is making space for something better. It's supporting you in your soul's evolution, whatever is happening. And the more willing we are to change at this time, the easier all of this will be. Now, that said, projects and interactions that got on their way prior to eclipse season, so before January 21st, are a little bit different. Anything that happened before January 21st might be something that is still, that you can still move with, that you can still connect with. But again, just check in with the urge to push, right? You don't want to push anything right now. You don't want to stop your life, certainly, during eclipse season, but pushing is not required, right? So pay attention to anything that got started also at the time of the last solar eclipse, which was the solar eclipse in Leo in August, at the end of August of last year. Because sometimes what happens with eclipses, when something gets started around that time, there is some kind of new movement that happens during the next eclipse. So either something is going to completion, or something's shifting and moving to another level. So you can pay attention to that as well. So ask yourself, do I have a better understanding of what brings me joy? And am I more courageous and self-expressed at this point, right? Now, with the solar eclipse being in freedom-loving, forward-thinking Aquarius right now, we have our eye on the future. Future is very important to us. And so the highest vibration of Aquarius gives us the opportunity to see a clear vision for our life, and where we're ready to make huge improvements, where we're ready to move something forward. Now, the Aquarius also deals with the power of ideals, technology, and inventions. We are also interested in the collective focus on changing group consciousness. And we strive for equality, collaboration, and progress with Aquarius, right? So these are all the higher vibrational energies of Aquarius. And this eclipse invites us to step into more of these higher vibrational energies and bring those vibrations to our ability to be courageous and joyful in our own right. Now, because this is a South Node eclipse, this invites us to become also aware of the lower vibrations of this sign of Aquarius. So we can release those energies or attachments that no longer serve our evolution and move towards the higher vibration of the sign. So in this case, that would be the lower vibration of Aquarius would be that we feel like outsiders, right? We feel like we don't fit in, or maybe we're too different from other people, or that we want to rebel against social structures that don't fit with our ideal vision that we have for life or that we have for humanity. Now, we get trapped in this lower vibration when we do not take responsibility for our part in the collective, when we do not honor our individual genius or our unique contribution to society or our communities. So ask yourself here, what stops me from connecting to my inner genius? And what if I allowed myself to be both different while still connecting with others? And what if taking responsibility for how things are was the perfect jumpstart for a better future? And I think that last question is really powerful and really great to ask ourselves. And with all these questions, I just want to invite you to, take what resonates most with you. You don't have to use all the questions in my videos. Journal on them, meditate on them, just have them in the back of your mind, whatever works best for you. Everyone is a little bit differently, so I want you to just check in with you and see what resonates most with you. There's no one way to do this. This is just, the questions are just here to support you and to sort of like help you in having an investigation with these energies, to just kind of contemplate a little bit how these energies resonate with you. Now, to move even further into that higher Aquarian vibration, try also asking yourself the following questions. Where am I called to make a difference? And what could I as an individual do for humanity? Even if it's just something small, right? And how might group consciousness help humanity make progress? And where can I begin? And again, we can take baby steps. We do not have to do huge monumental things from the get-go, right? Baby steps are completely okay. So for now, I just also want to invite you, the questions that are connected with my videos, they're still available on my website at astrologercoach.com via my weekly forecasts after February 11th. You can just go to the blog page and just look for my weekly forecast for each week and for the week of the solar eclipse, and then just scroll down to where the solar eclipse entry is for Thursday, February 15th, and you will find all the questions there for now. Now, back to the eclipses. Every single one of us does have a special gift and a spark that is unique to us. And it's just how we were born, right? And it's just part of the human process and the human experience. And so when we access our inner genius and share it with the world, we can really make quantum leaps of insight and embark on remarkable collaborations with other people. So we really want to ask ourselves, how does my inner genius communicate? What is that inside of me? And where does it want to show up? Where does it want to come up and make a difference? Now, we want to also look at some of the planetary positions with the solar eclipse chart, just to see, what are some other components that have an impact on this particular solar eclipse chart. Now, Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius, so therefore that's a really good place to look. It's currently in Aries, and it's making a sextile to the Sun, Moon, and Mercury in Aquarius. So basically, it's making a sextile to the eclipse and to Mercury. Now, this is a tremendous opportunity for all of us to become more aware of our individual impact on the collective. So this is really huge. We are all agents of change already and always. And this is just built into being a human being. So right now, though, we're really getting the chance to recognize that, our individual capacity to affect change is far greater than we realize. So especially for those of us with Uranus, Aquarius, or 11th house planets strongly emphasized in our birth charts. And when we team up with others who also care deeply about creating a better future, we can create real change in this world right now, right? So ask yourself, how can I inspire others to foster progress? And what becomes possible when we all connect with the intention to create meaningful change for everyone, for all living things? What can be possible when we come from that place, from that intention? And I think that's a really powerful question to ask ourselves right now. Now, the other planet that is very strongly emphasized in this solar eclipse chart is Jupiter in Scorpio, because it's making a square to the solar eclipse, but it's also making a sextile to Pluto in Capricorn and a trine to Chiron in Pisces. So what does all that mean? Now, this combination invites us to stretch ourselves for the duration of the eclipse cycle, to grow beyond what we currently know ourselves to be, and it supports our ability to build a more meaningful future and allow us to engage more fully in our current healing process as well. So here's a good start. We all have survival tactics, right? Jupiter is in Scorpio right now, and so we're really getting to see, all those survival tactics that we have, that we formed in response to past circumstances, whether that was past traumas or past experience where we felt disempowered. We all have our little strategies, right? Now ask yourself, what if I expanded my awareness and comprehension of my personal survival tactics just by 5%? And that is a really, really great and powerful question to ask, especially with this Jupiter in Scorpio placement right now. Now, what might a new perspective on my fears and defenses show me? So if we can start to shift our perspective around our own fears and defenses, what can that shift, or how can that create new possibilities for ourselves, right? And what if I relentlessly questioned old beliefs about intimate or financial partnerships, right? Because it's Scorpio. Scorpio is about intimate and financial partnerships. So what if I relentlessly questions old beliefs that maybe are now already outdated, that I'm still kind of like moving with, and they're not serving me anymore, right? So we need to shift something here, right? What might I discover about what has become true in my life because of these beliefs? And if I genuinely allowed this insight to change my behaviors and expectations, what might that look like? Again, all these questions are really powerful and really important, especially if we want to dig a little bit deeper into, this Jupiter Scorpio squaring the eclipses for the next 6 months. So feel free to meditate on these questions for the next 6 months, or journal on them as much as you can. Now, as always, when Chiron is involved, because we also have Chiron trining Jupiter, we want to aim for wholeness. We want to include forgiveness. Above all, we want to keep a courageously open heart. We want to let our light shine all the brighter, because we want to make sure that we're being authentic, that we're visible and authentic. So even with all the shadow parts, or all the parts of ourselves that we're not comfortable with, or that we have suppressed or denied, we still want to include all of those and be authentic with them. Now, eclipses are a time for clarifying and affirming our highest path, or there's at least the opportunity to do that. So we're bound to experience a release and a recalibration, energetically speaking. So old codes will get deleted and new programming will get downloaded for the next couple of weeks. Now, this is especially true when we look at our vision for the future and for the collective. So suppressing or denying our unique gifts that we each bring to the collective experience is even less wise than before at this point. And so we're more aware than ever that we are interconnected and that we all contribute to this human experience, and that this is making a difference, that it is that we're capable of making a difference on this shared journey that we have with each other as humans. Now, on the day of the eclipse, allow yourself to observe your mental output from time to time. Better yet, take maybe some days immediately before and after the eclipse for meditation, contemplation, journaling, anything that supports an objective understanding of your own thoughts and your own visions for life. It's going to be really helpful to do that. Now, if you're like most of us and you have other obligations, work, family, relationships, whatever, simply take 5 minutes, here or there, whenever you can, in the morning or in the evening or, during lunch break or in the afternoon at some point, and just get quiet and just be with yourself just for 5 minutes, if that's possible. And especially with your inspirational self, with your higher mind, see what is possible, what comes up. And maybe if you could give yourself this time, these 5 minutes on a regular basis, see what might be possible if you do that for yourself, if you give that to yourself as a gift. Now, since eclipse season continues until February 25th, I highly recommend, again, that you treat yourself to my most recent forecasting forum where we talked about the eclipses, including this solar eclipse in Aquarius, and look directly at your own birth chart to see how the eclipse is affecting you. And again, for the next 2 weeks only until February 25th, I'm offering a 35% discount on this webinar on my website. So if you go to services and then click on webinars, and you will see the eclipse webinar there, and you can purchase that there. Or you may also recall that I'm now offering memberships on my website, so you can get a free copy of the entire webinar about the eclipses plus a subscription to the monthly forecasting forum by signing up for my star or superstar membership by the end of the month. So all of that is available. If that sounds good to you or if that resonates with you, feel free to go to my website and click on membership and take advantage of that deal by either purchasing the superstar or the star membership on that page. Now, between now and February 25th, allow for the new templates to download that are currently coming down already. Stay centered and do your best to ground from within. Try using conscious breathing, flexibility, and best of all, see if you can move to the observer position when it comes to your emotional and mental body. And in particular, your mental body, because the mental body is going to be quite activated with the South Node being in Aquarius right now. Now, if nothing else, remember that, eclipses or eclipse season doesn't last forever. In another 2 weeks, at the very latest, these downloads are completed. Now, if you do have an ascendant or personal planets or like a career point in 22 to 29 degrees of Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, or Scorpio, or 0 to 2 degrees of Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, or Sagittarius, then you are going to feel the impact of this solar eclipse more strongly. But even if you don't have personal planets in those degrees and signs, the house placement, as I already mentioned earlier, in your natal chart, affected by this solar eclipse is equally as important to be aware of and to look at for yourself, because that area indicates where you need to pay more attention in the next 6 months. in terms of new beginnings and visions that you have for that area of your life. So look at where is 27 degrees of Aquarius in your birth chart, and what does that area of life represent, and what kind of vision do you have for yourself in that area of your life right now, or moving forward, right? Now, if you don't have a birth chart, or you don't know what I'm talking about by doing this, watch my video, How to Read Your Birth Chart. Towards the end of that 30-minute class, I will let you know how to get a visual of your birth chart for free online. And you will learn how to apply what I share in my videos and my weekly forecasts to your own birth chart. So it's a really great video to watch if you haven't seen it yet. And you can watch it for free either on my YouTube channel or on my website. If you go to my homepage at astrologercoach.com, just look for free class. If you scroll down, and if you click on that link where it says free class, you'll be able to watch that video right there on my website. And there will also be some handouts that you can see with the class as well on my website. So this is also a really great video to watch before you join my monthly forecasting forums. And if you have been thinking about doing that, I want to encourage you to definitely watch this video first before joining us. It's going to be important. And before I talk about my forums in a little bit more detail, for those of you who haven't done them yet and who don't know what they're about, let me give you just a little bit of an update on what's happening with my new online community. For those of you who have been curious to find out more about what's happening, my website developers are still working out a couple of tiny little kinks and little issues that are coming up, because it is a brand new website and a brand new online community. So for the next 4 weeks, we are offering a super duper discount for all 3 memberships that are currently available on my new website. So I recommend that you go to my website right now and check out what might be a really good fit for you. Because this super low price is only available for a limited time, and right now you can actually lock it in for life, or as long as you remain an active member, right? So this is a really fantastic deal. So definitely take advantage if you think that this might be something that you might want to engage with. But let's talk about the forums right now for those of you who don't know what they are. And then we'll talk about setting new moon intentions. So stay tuned for a little bit longer. Now, these forums are really supportive. That's the reason why I have created them, because I wanted to make sure that everyone is able to really use what we talk about in the videos also in relationship to their own birth charts, and so that we can get a little bit of a better sense of how these energies impact us personally each month. So these monthly forecasting forums are really there to give you that support. And it's a really great format to take advantage of because it's really the next best thing to getting a one-on-one reading with me, just that it's a lot more affordable. So we look at each month, we look at what's coming up each month. We look at our own birth charts actively to see how that's impacting us. You also get the opportunity to ask questions. It's interactive, so we can I can make sure to answer questions that are connected to what's coming up that month or what we're talking about. And since we have next month, we have a Jupiter station and retrograde coming up in March. We have a Mercury station and retrograde coming up in March. And so we can get a little bit of a better sense of what that's about and how that's impacting all of us in our own charts, in our own lives. Feel free to join us. The next forum will be on Friday, March 2nd. At 12 p.m. Pacific time, which is also LA time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, which is also New York time, and 8 p.m. London time, GMT. So you can sign up to join us live if you're available during at that time, during that on that day. Or if you're not available exactly at that time, then you can register to receive an MP4 video presentation within 24 hours of the live event. That's also available. And you can also ask questions in advance via the registration form that you'll be getting via an email once you register. So because you can ask questions in advance, the video presentations are just as valuable as joining live. And I will make sure that I answer as many questions as I possibly can within the 90 minutes that we have together. Now, right now, these webinars are $37 for the 90 minutes that we're together. And if you sign up for the monthly star or superstar membership, the forums are included in those memberships, and you can join for free every month. Okay, so that's something that is included in those memberships. Now, the good news is, as I mentioned before already, for this month only, you can also get a free copy of the video presentations from our most recent forum about the eclipses. So by signing up for either the Star or Superstar membership, you get to watch the next forum, and you also get the one that just passed. You get that for free about the eclipses as well. So go to my website and click on membership, and then just take advantage of that deal by signing up for one of the star memberships. All right. Now you can also just register now for just the forum as well on my website, and make sure that you also fill out the registration form, especially if you'd like to ask a question in advance. And please, if you can also make sure that you ask questions that are related to what we cover in the webinar, because that's helpful to you and to everyone else that's watching. All right, the moment has come. We are ready for setting new moon intentions. Now, to set some powerful intentions for this eclipse cycle, remember that this cycle runs 6 months. So these intentions are much more powerful, much more important for much longer times than a regular new moon intention. And because there is new templates downloading, we're getting a consciousness upgrade at the time of the eclipse. We want to wait 48 hours before we set our intentions after the eclipse becomes exact. Now, with this particular eclipse, we have 2 windows for setting intentions. All of these are given in Eastern Standard Time, New York time. So the first window is February 17th between 4:05 p.m. and 5:14 p.m. The reason is that there will be a moon void, of course, right at 4:15 p.m. on February 17th. So we don't want to set intentions during the moon void, of course. The second window for setting intentions will be between 7:05 a.m. on February 18th until 4:05 p.m. the following day on February 19th. So this is a little bit of a longer window. Now make these intentions powerful. After all, they cover 6 months. And if possible, align them with the Aquarian energy that we just spoke about in this video. And this solar eclipse really also reminds us that to be fully alive requires that we do have to stretch ourselves, and we have to grow, and we have to change. So while you write these intentions, I just want to invite you to ask yourself, what would it take for me to release old patterns from the past? And how might that free me to create a more powerful future? Okay, so what would it take for me to release old patterns from the past, and how might that free me to create a more powerful future? Right, so that can be something that can be helpful to sit with while you're writing your intentions. Now, if you live in a different time zone other than New York or US East Coast time zone, I want to invite you to join me on my Facebook fan page or follow me on Twitter. I will be posting reminders on February 17th, 18th, and 19th to let you know when it is time to set your intentions. And so I will be posting several posts, and when you read that post, you know now I can set my intentions. You can sit down and do it right there and then. So for more information about setting new moon eclipse intentions, you can go to my Facebook fan page and check out the notes sections from your computer. It can't be accessed from an iPhone or Android phone, unfortunately, but you can do it from your computer, or you can go to my website, to my blog page, and then look for astrology articles, and one of those articles talks about setting new moon or eclipse intentions, that will be supportive if you haven't done it yet before, if you want to know more about it. And until it's time to set the intentions, because there is a 48-hour window between when the solar eclipse becomes exact, until you have set your intentions, feel free to ask yourself, any of the questions that I mentioned in the video and just meditate on them or journal on them. Now, again, all the questions from this video are still available on my website at astrologercoach.com via my blog page, and that's available after February 11th, and you can click on that particular week when the solar eclipse takes place and look for February 15th on that entry. There will be, all the questions will be there. Now, if you want to sign up for my monthly forecasts, you can do that either via my website on the homepage, or you can email us at info@astrologercoach.com and just write newsletter in the subject line, and then we will add you to that mailing list. The newsletter or the monthly forecasts are basically the new moon video that I send out every month. I will send you announcements that I have about my business or my courses or retreats that I'm doing, special offers that are available. So all of that is available via the newsletter or via the monthly forecast. Okay, that goes straight to your inbox. All right, if you have any questions about the solar eclipse, any general questions or general questions about astrology, feel free to email me at Sonja@astrologercoach.com. General questions are always great. I love them. I will answer them. If it is a personal question that requires for me to pull up your birth chart so I can answer your question, then I will ask you to book a reading with me, just so I can honor my time and also so I can make sure I can answer your question fully and completely. And you can do that. You can book a reading via my website, or any questions that are connected to what's coming up within the next 30 days around the Jupiter station retrograde and Mercury station retrograde. Feel free to join us for the next monthly forecasting forum and ask a question there. All right, so that's it for this solar eclipse. Remember, this is an introverted time where we're just going within and we're just looking to see, how are we going to the next level of our consciousness. So stay cool, stay calm, stay collected as best as you can, and just know that all this is temporary and you are moving to the next level of your soul's evolution. All right, I'll be back soon. This is Astrologer Coach Sonja Francis. Goodbye.